Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today I am back with another 2021 reading for you guys. In December, we did sort of an overview on your whole year, but what we're going to do today is break down the year 2021 into monthly predictions so that you guys can get a feel of what exactly is happening in each month and when you can expect certain things to happen. And as you may have seen in the title, today's video is a collaboration with the amazing Jupiter Sun. She is another tarot reader here on YouTube as well as an artist. So in this reading on my channel, we're going to take a look at the months of January to June, and then July to December will be uploaded and read by Jupiter Sun. So if you guys want to get the whole reading for your year of 2020, make sure that you check out the video on her channel as well. Okay, so today there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from. I'm going to show you each of the crystals one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. So for number 1, there is pink rhodonite. Number 2 is citrine. Number 3 is sodalite. And number 4 is fluorite. So take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so this reading is for those of you who are drawn to the rhodonite. This is your month-by-month prediction for the first half of 2021, so January to June. There are 6 cards laid out here as you can see, and these are going to represent January, February, March, April, May, and June. So first of all, I can already see that the first half of 2021 is going to bring a lot of major changes for you guys. Don't worry, it is going to be positive. But you have 3 major arcana out of 6, so there are a lot of significant changes happening in your life, and particularly the months January, February, and April could be significant. And because the other 3 cards are pentacles, it looks like the most significant area of your life during this period is going to be career. So in the first half of next year, it looks like a lot of you are going through an upgrade in your career. A lot of you guys may be changing jobs, changing to the job that you really want and that would really make you a lot of money. And your financial situation is going to be improving quite a bit as well. So I would say the theme for the first half of the year is divine intervention and abundance. Yes, I think those are 2 words that sum up this whole spread pretty well. So let's get into the individual months now. Some of you guys who are looking at these cards right now, you may be feeling a little bit uneasy because the card that we have to start off this 6-month period is the Tower. So you guys probably know that the Tower, it describes a sort of sudden, unexpected change that is often not very comfortable. It's sort of like a change that comes completely out of left field. It usually leaves some destruction, and the life that you were living before is completely gone. It's completely changed. There is a divine intervention to put you on a whole new path, and it can often leave you feeling confused and unprepared and scared for what's to come, because this is not what you were anticipating. This is not what you were preparing for. But the feeling I'm getting for you guys is like, this was a transition that you wanted to make anyway, and you were planning to make it someday in the future, but you may have kind of been dragging your feet, and it just happened a lot sooner than you were expecting. I'm looking at the person on this Tower card wearing a mask, and I think the year 2021 for you guys is really going to be about removing this mask. So becoming the person that you came here to be. And it makes sense that career is heavily involved in this reading, because I think what you do in the world is really important. You want to be doing something that really complements your natural talents, that you're very good at, that makes you money, something that allows you to make a difference in the world, and most importantly, something that you really, really love. So I feel like for you guys, there's this transition that you've wanted to make in your career, or in your living situation, and you've been sort of telling yourself, someday, I'll do it someday, but haven't really been getting into the specifics or practically planning what actions you're going to take to make it happen. So it was more just of, this abstract, distant dream sort of thing. And then your higher self is saying, wait, I thought you wanted to take this mask off. interesting, and comes in and creates some sudden change to get you on this path faster, but it leaves you feeling a little bit shocked because you weren't expecting it to come this soon. You weren't feeling ready for it to come this soon. But if this is happening right now, it's because your higher self is trying to tell you that you are ready. So just to give an example, maybe you really wanted to leave a certain job or change your job, but you didn't have any plan of like, okay, next month I'm leaving, or I'm going to look for new jobs in the summertime, or whatever it might be. There is no concrete plan. And so your higher self sort of pushes you into the path that you've been talking about for so long, that you've been saying you want to do for so long. And even though it's what you want, it is really, really scary, because whatever old situation you were in that was providing you at least a sense of security and a sense of predictability in your life, that's been taken away. And now it's like you have no choice but to go down the path that you want. And I know it sounds so funny when I say it like that. You have no choice but to do what you want. But it can be really scary for a lot of us because we're diving into the unknown. We're starting a completely new chapter. And the more important something is to us, the closer it is to our heart, the more scary failure can be, the more scary rejection can be. So the year is starting off on a bit of a scary note for you guys, but it's a good scary. It's a good nervous, because you're finally going to give what you want an earnest shot. You're finally going to give taking this mask off an earnest shot. So the next card that we have for the month of February is Temperance, and I really like this card to come out after the Tower because it tells me that things are going to get better quite quickly for you. So in the month of January, we see this kind of sudden, unexpected and sort of uncomfortable change, but come February, it's like you've already made peace with it. You've already made peace with the fact that there are unknowns on this path, and you may even already in the month of February be starting to understand why this Tower moment had to happen. So in just the span of 1 month, it's like you're already finding your footing on this new path, and you're already discovering the deeper spiritual meaning behind it. I understand why my higher self put this Tower moment in my life, and I'm grateful for it. And I know the road ahead is going to be long and difficult with a lot of uncertainty, but I have faith. So that's going to be your mindset, it looks like, in February. I think you're going to have a lot of peace with the new direction that you're going in and really understand the meaning of this, which is wonderful because it sucks to have Tower moments happen and we're left in the dark about the meaning. Maybe you will feel in the dark for a while about why this Tower moment happened to you, but it will be a matter of, literally a matter of weeks. And already you have a little bit more clarity and you have a lot more peace for any unknowns on the road ahead. Another meaning of the Temperance card is health, moderation, and balance. So of course we can see you finding your balance, like you're recovering and standing back up from this Tower moment. But this could also speak about you guys getting your schedule, your lifestyle, and your health in order. So maybe you'll be very concerned with your physical and mental health in the month of February, setting up a healthy sleeping schedule, maybe starting to exercise or adopting a new exercise program if you're already doing one, focusing more on eating healthy, meditation, breathing exercises, drinking water. You guys are really, really starting to take care of yourself, because no matter what crazy changes life throws at you, you always have you. You are the constant through all the changes. And so you have to keep your physical and mental health rock solid. So I see you guys finding a really nice routine for your health, for your peace of mind, for your mental clarity. I already see you guys feeling a lot better in February from whatever happened in January, and also feeling excited and hopeful, because remember, this was really what you wanted to do anyway at the end of the day, so you'll be feeling better in no time, basically. All right, so moving into March now, there's the Eight of Pentacles. This tells me that you guys are going to be very busy and hard at work on this new path. So you guys may be working a lot, or you may be studying a lot, but the Eight of Pentacles shows really dedication to the task at hand. It can really show you getting absorbed in what you're doing and feeling really motivated about it. The Eight of Pentacles, it does show that you're feeling really good about the work that you're doing, and you may not even have to be working this hard, but it's just that you're really getting into it. And so for a while in this month, you may be spending a lot of time on your own, not really focused on many other things, and putting the majority of your energy towards achieving your goals. One other meaning that I sometimes see with the Eight of Pentacles is actually meeting somebody who has the same interests, the same skill set, and the same work ethic as you. So you guys could be meeting someone in the month of March who is pursuing the same career as you, or who is in a very similar field. So you guys have a lot to talk about. You have a lot of advice and tips and tricks to give each other. And this could become a very solid and constructive relationship that you have with this individual, in which you're really motivating each other and holding each other accountable, like almost like a study buddy. It's this type of dynamic. So you have a very close relationship, and maybe you guys are checking in on each other frequently to make sure that you're doing the work that you said you're going to be doing, really keeping you on track. And again, I see you guys feeling very, very good about this. Regardless of what it's like for you now, I know that sometimes like adhering to a structure and being productive, it can make us feel really anxious and really stressed, but that's not the energy that I see you guys in come March 2021. You're actually going to feel very, very motivated to do the work that you need to do. So I do think it is quite a positive thing. And then in the month of April, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love this card so much. So, oh, and you know what's very interesting is that we have, these represent 4 zodiac signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and this is for the month of April. So because we do have Taurus present here, this can actually be indicative of Taurus season. So something really significant and really wonderful, I should say, happening to you in Taurus season, so in late April. I really, really liked Temperance that came out after the Tower, and now I really, really like the Wheel of Fortune coming after the Eight of Pentacles, because this is a surefire sign that all of your hard work is going to be rewarded. This was like you taking your inspired action and putting in your work, and then this over here was like the universe rewarding you with new opportunities, with any connections that you need to be successful, and just with good luck in general. And I think around this Taurus season is when things are really, really going to start to pick up for you. And one thing I should note is that you guys have divine support for whatever this is that you're doing. You have divine support. And so whatever work you put in, the gift that the universe gives you for that work is going to be like multiplied by 10. Because in these previous months here in February and March, I really see you showing the universe that you're ready, that you are embracing this new path, that you're going to hold yourself accountable, and that you're going to do whatever it takes to be successful. And the universe loves that. The universe loves when you show that you are ready to receive your blessings, and you are definitely getting those blessings. This is a month that is going to be very, very memorable, where just everything seems to go right, where the progress that you make is very fast and very smooth. You're always at the right place at the right time. You're always being connected and united with the right people to help you all on your journeys. So I'm really, really excited for you guys to experience this month. For an example, let's say this new path for you guys is like starting your own business. And in these months here, you finally started to really lay down the foundation, come up with a solid plan, and take the first steps to make this happen. And while most people, it might take them months or even years to really get their business off the ground, the universe is responding to you very, very favorably, and you're going to see your progress skyrocketing when this month comes along. And you're going to be really, really surprised, I think, with just how quickly and effortlessly everything is coming along. And I mean, look at this. This is not that long of a time frame at all. It's actually very quick. You had your Tower moment in January, and by the time late April comes along, you're already doing amazing and thriving on your new path. So it's probably that your higher self knew this, and that's why they gave you that little push with the Tower moment. Maybe you couldn't see that it would have happened so quickly and so easily, but your higher self did, and was giving you that nudge of like, just go for it. I promise it's going to be fine. So this is definitely the most exciting month so far, in my opinion. But then you do have the Nine of Pentacles coming right after that in the month of May, which is also really, really great. So we see that your good luck is starting to pick up in the month of April. All the opportunities you need, all the connections you need are coming your way. And in the month of May, this is where I see you really enjoying the fruits of your labor. So this may be the moment where you really start to feel that you've truly leveled up financially. I do see very good money coming in for you in the month of May. And I also see you living a more relaxed lifestyle. It's kind of like in March, you had to put in a lot of the efforts and kind of do the dirty work, like do the really hard stuff. Not that it wasn't enjoyable, but I think you just had to maybe exert yourself quite a bit. But then when May comes along, it's like you can ease off a little bit, you can relax and enjoy the rewards that you have created for yourself with the help from the universe. So you guys are going to have a really, really lovely and peaceful lifestyle. It's like you have balance in everything. In your work, in your play, in your rest, in your moments with friends, in your moments alone. And this is a card that tells me that you will be able to buy the things that you want to buy. So you might be making a significant, sort of luxurious purchase in the month of May, just to treat yourself for your hard work and because you can, or you may be extending this gift to friends and loved ones. And a really nice thing about the Nine of Pentacles too is that it means that you're feeling really valued and really appreciated for what you do. So already, like we mentioned earlier, you are feeling really good about the work that you're doing just because you love it and you're very good at it. But now, in this month of May, you start to feel that appreciation from others. So maybe people complimenting you on your work, letting you know how amazing, how talented, how hardworking they find you. And even some people that you work with, or some customers or clients, however it relates to your situation, they might start to give you little extra tokens of their appreciation. I often see this card as you receiving some kind of bonus, for example, receiving a raise, receiving tips, or actual presents and really, really good reviews. It could be one or many or all of those, but you'll really, really be feeling that people truly appreciate what you do, which just really reinforces to you that you are doing the right thing. So just one last thing about the Nine of Pentacles. When it comes to relationships, this does tend to show somebody who doesn't really want or need a relationship because they're very content doing their own thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't, like they're closed off and they would turn down a relationship, but it's not really on their top list of priorities. So for those of you who are currently single watching this video, this could be showing that you will still be single around this time, May 2021. However, I don't think that that's going to bother you. Maybe it doesn't even bother you now, but basically I see you being happily single because you have such a rich life. You're surrounded by love. You're doing what you love. You're creating value in the world, and you're also feeling very confident and sure of yourself. So even if there is somebody that you have your eye on, somebody that you like, I don't really see you being in, an attached energy or an obsessive energy about the connection. If you guys are finding right now that you are really hung up on somebody, I do see that remedying itself. I do see that energy kind of calming down and you guys being very peaceful with where you currently are with that person. Some of you may just be embracing the way things are right now and there's no rush to get into a relationship with them. However, I do see that some of you might actually be getting over the person that you're currently interested in. Like, this is not for me. I'm moving up. I'm moving on to better things, and completely letting go and feeling really happy about that decision. And when you're in this energy, when you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy, that makes you very, very attractive. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have several people around this time of the year who are interested in you and who are making you romantic offers. You have options. You're living your best life and you have options in everything that you're doing. For those of you who are in a romantic relationship, I see that you will still be in that relationship come May 2021, but you may be spending just a little bit less time with your partner. Things are still great between the two of you. In fact, they may be better than ever, but perhaps you and your partner are both really focused on doing your own thing right now. Maybe really focused on your career or the projects that you have going on. So it's not like you're drifting apart in any way. It's just that you might have to work a little harder to make time for each other. But I just want to stress that I don't see it hurting the relationship in any way. Like I said, you guys will probably be doing better than ever around this time because remember, you still have this Wheel of Fortune on your side. So everything is going to be going great for you. So last but not least, we have your card for the month of June, the Two of Pentacles. So we have seen throughout this reading that you're on this new path, you're doing really well, you're making good money, and you're feeling very good. And I think that this new path is going to open the door to a lot of opportunities for you. New opportunities that maybe you hadn't considered before, potential new positions to work in, new projects to start, new business ventures. It's going to be a whole world of possibilities that is opening up for you. And you may want to explore your potential a little bit more or explore your interests a little bit more. So in the month of June, basically, I see you taking on something new in addition to what you've already been working on in the previous months. So this could look like you are running your own business, but then you just got an idea for a side business that you really want to do. Or you're working at a job that you like, and at the same time, you're studying for certain certifications so that you can try to get a promotion. Something like that. You kind of have two things going on at once. And I think this card is a little bit of a warning to you. It's definitely not discouraging you from taking on that second thing. In fact, I think this is a very strong encouragement that this will create even more abundance and even more fulfillment in your life. But the warning here comes if you try to do both things at 100%. If you do both things at 100%, you could become way too busy, which can lead to burnout, which can lead to stress, and it would sort of throw this balance that you've worked so hard to achieve off. Like it will throw off the balance. I think you have a really, really good lifestyle and a really good rhythm going here. You're very healthy, like we saw with the Temperance card. And so it's just a little bit of a warning, as ambitious as you are, as passionate as you might be about both things, it just may not be physically feasible to take on both things 100%. So in the month of June, you are being called into some reflection to reevaluate your priorities. You may want to sit down, take a look at your schedule, and see how much time you're giving to everything right now, and see where maybe you could cut back a little bit, see what areas you want to do more of, or what things you might want to get rid of altogether. It's like you have so much going on, you're doing really, really well, but in June, you're reaching a point where it's just not possible to do everything that you want to do because there's only 24 hours in a day. Another suggestion for you might be to find somebody who can collaborate with you. So like somebody who could run the business with you, or somebody who could be an assistant to you, a secretary to you, or just someone who could make a bit lighter work for you. And actually, now that I mention that, whoever you're meeting in the month of March, it could be this person who later ends up collaborating with you. And this will, with many hands you will make light work. And maybe that's a way that you can, still maintain everything it is that you want to do, but just not give so much of your own effort to it that you end up burning out. But yes, sometimes this card can show that you have to not take everything so seriously and just have more fun, not try to juggle and do everything. And, in the Nine of Pentacles, we see you enjoying life so much, like doing what you want and really having fun. And I think your higher self and your spirit guides, they don't want you to have to lose this. They want you to be able to do everything you want to do, but still have this fun and abundant and luxurious lifestyle. So you will find a way. you will find a way to balance it all out and make it work, whether that's just cutting down on some things or maybe delegating, I think is the word, some of your work to somebody else that you really trust and that you work well with. You'll find a way. So this is sort of a month of, you know, taking stock of everything, a month of reflection and reorganizing. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. This was the first half of your year of 2021. If you guys do want to see what the second half of your year will look like, please be sure to check out the video on Jupiter Sun's channel, which will be linked in the description. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Hi number twos, so this reading is for those of you who were drawn to the citrine. This is your month-by-month prediction for the first half of 2021, so January to June. And as you can see, there are 6 cards laid out here, and these are going to represent January, February, March, April, May, and June. And I think the theme for you guys for the first half of 2021, looking at these cards, it's going to be healing and new beginnings. So let's get right into the cards now. The first card that we have here for your month of January is the 8 of Wands. So you guys are starting off the year with a manifestation. Now, this manifestation is going to be different for everybody. This could be manifestation in your love life, in your career, in finances, in your education. It can really be anything, but the way I would characterize it is something that you are already trying to manifest right now, and you have been trying for a very long time, but it hasn't been working. I sort of see you guys, for example, you've been scripting, you've been watching videos on how to manifest so you can figure out how to make this thing work. When you do watch those kind of videos, it's like you do have this one specific thing in mind, which is the reason you're watching. Maybe you've been doing meditations or subliminals or something like this to try to get this thing to happen. Basically, like you've been doing everything right, but with no results. So I kind of see you guys right now in a little bit of a frustrated energy, or maybe you already kind of started to lose hope on this thing, but in the month of January, it very suddenly and unexpectedly comes to you. This manifestation that you've been trying, it's almost like it just finally comes, it finally pops in, was the word I was going to use, finally pops into your experience. And so in January, I do see you being quite happy and quite exciting about this development, and things are going to be really good for that month. Now, moving into February, I do see you guys becoming a bit disillusioned or disappointed with what has happened. This is like a situation of you got the thing that you wanted, but it wasn't really what you thought, or this thing manifested, so there was like a peak in the developments and then it kind of fell flat again. So it started how you wanted, but then it didn't really play out in the way that you imagined. So an example that I could give for this is like you have a person of interest and you haven't been in contact, and so you've been trying to manifest them reaching out to you. In January they do, and it's very exciting, but then ultimately it doesn't really lead to much change or much advancement. Or another example could be, you know, getting notified that you made it past the first rounds of an interview or an audition, which is very exciting, but then not getting through the second round. So it's almost like just the first step of the manifestation came, but the rest of it didn't really fall into place in the way that you would have hoped. And I think, yes, that is where the sort of disillusionment comes from. It wasn't really what you thought it was going to be. And I actually see some of you, in light of this turn of events, in light of this incident, sort of starting to back away from spirituality or not being so enthusiastic about it anymore because you just feel like so disappointed. Maybe you'd been studying so much about manifestation and how it really works, or studying about your astrological transits and how this exciting thing was going to happen for you at this full moon, and working with all of these energies, but then it didn't really reflect in your physical experience in the way that so many of these sources, so many of these readers, or whatever it may be, had confirmed to you and told you so many times. So in a way, like, if I put it bluntly, it's almost a bit like feeling played or feeling cheated in some way. Like you didn't get what you really felt was coming to you and what you really wanted. And it sort of makes you question everything. Like, was this in my head this whole time? I don't know what to believe anymore. So if I'm being very honest, February does kind of seem like a hard month, because in addition to, you know, the feelings of being let down, there's also a lot of confusion with not knowing like what to believe or what to trust. It may have even been like not external sources, but what you felt was your own intuition confirming this to you, and it played out quite differently. So yes, in terms of your spirituality and your spiritual beliefs, I think that February just might be a little bit challenging. And maybe this is something that's going to happen around Pisces season, because the moon is indicative of Pisces, which starts at the end of February. So I think that period, late February into March, it could be a little bit tough. So moving on into March now, there's the Page of Pentacles. This is an interesting card to follow the moon, because the moon is it has to do with abstract things. It has to do with things going on behind the scenes, and it can have this energy of very much being in your head with those things that aren't really tangible. And so I see you from February to March transitioning from a more spiritual approach to life to a more practical approach to life, and really stopping and taking a look at what is in front of you, what you can see and touch and experience with your five senses. And in a way, this is sort of you taking control back of your life and focusing on the things that you can change through your actions, rather than things that you have to, you know, leave up to the energies or leave up to some divine being. You're working with things that are more 3D, I should say. So more tangible, concrete, right in front of you. There are just some things in life that are not necessarily a product of our efforts or our hard work, and we do kind of have to leave up to fate, so to speak. For example, if we put in effort every day and we're working at our career, that is something that we can directly influence, and we can see that happening in front of us. If I put in this work, then I will get success, then I will get money. That's a very like 3D practical concept. When it comes to things like attracting love, for example, there are some actions we can take, but it's not such an obvious equation. Like, if I do XYZ, then I will meet my soulmate. That's a bit more of an abstract concept. It doesn't really work like that. So in the month of March, in light of everything that's happened, I see you guys moving more into a practical approach and focusing more on the things where your direct input creates a direct output that is very easy to understand, and it doesn't so much require some sort of spiritual faith, and is more just about using your common sense and just using how the 3D world works. So this could be you guys starting to really focus on the career that you currently have. This could be you guys starting a new project, learning a new skill. The Page of Pentacles, it does indicate positive changes for finances and education. So I think you're going to start to put in a lot of practical effort in the month of March that is going to lead to financial and educational rewards. But what distinguishes this from maybe other endeavors or other things that you've tried to manifest is that the whole entire process is under your control. So you don't have to rely on the actions of somebody else. You don't have to rely on fate. It's very much about you and the actions that you're taking that are producing results. And I think this is actually going to be very good for you to sort of get back into this energy, focusing on the things that you can change and you can control, rather than getting very in your head or getting upset about things that are harder to control. I think this is going to be really, really good for your grounding, for your security, for your self-worth. And this is where I really see your journey of healing beginning. And I should say that, spirituality, manifestation, tarot readings, and all these things, if this is resonating with you, that you might just step back a little bit from those things or take a break, it will always be there and waiting for you when you want to come back to it. But I just feel that at this point that we're reading for, you may not be in the best headspace for it. You may be in a headspace where you get, really, really attached to the outcome, and outcomes can affect your emotions a lot. So you're taking a moment here to get grounded, to get back into 3D and feel really, really secure in yourself. And then maybe you can come back to the more spiritual side of it after that grounding. Okay, so let's move on to the month of April now. This is going to be a very happy month for you. The Three of Cups tells me that you are going to be celebrating with friends in the month of April. So maybe it's your birthday, one of your friends' birthdays in the month of April, or perhaps this is just a reunion with your close friends that you haven't been able to do for a very long time, and that's what you're celebrating. I am even getting the message that you might be celebrating some very good news that has come to either you or one of your friends. So like somebody got a promotion, somebody got married, somebody got a new house. You could be celebrating things like that, but I see you really surrounded by friends and loved ones in the month of April. And I see your energy being very playful, very fun, very cheerful. So you will be recovering from some of this disappointment or heartache that happened earlier in the year. You are going to be feeling very good and lighthearted in the month of April. And some of you guys are actually going to be meeting new friends, maybe meeting somebody who is going to become your best friend in the future. And just to talk about a spiritual concept again, you guys could be meeting also your soul family. So your platonic soulmates, your best friends, your creative collaborators. Now that I mentioned that, this would be a really good month for creativity as well. So for any of you guys who are artists or creative in any way, maybe you write, maybe you sing, maybe you make music, maybe you make videos, this is going to be a really good month for that, where you're really, really going to enjoy it. And the focus is not so much on productivity as it is just about you enjoying yourself, feeling very in the zone and very creatively inspired. And this will also be a really fun month for you to share your projects with others. You really, really are going to be surrounded by a lot of loving people, both old and new, in this month of April. And I just feel like your heart is going to feel so full in this month. So the card that we have for the month of May is the Knight of Pentacles, which is very interesting because in the month of March we had the Page, and now over this period from March to May, it's like you have leveled up. So it may be these very pleasant interactions and healthy relationships that you're experiencing in this period that help you to progress with your healing. It could be, finding an outlet for your emotions, finding this creative expression. It could be focusing on your career, focusing on developing your skills, or maybe all of these things. But in any case, you are leveling up. You are healing, you're becoming more mature, and you are making progress on your path. And the Knight of Pentacles already denotes slow but steady progress. But when we see you moving from the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, that shows even more. This is going to be a slow but steady process. And look at the transition between these two cards, because over here when you're the Page, you're actually not moving. You're not even standing up and ready to move. You are sitting down. You're sitting down in the Moon. You're sitting down in the Page of Pentacles. When we get over here to April, you're standing up. And then in May, you have gotten on a horse and you are ready to start moving along on your journey. It's around this time that you're really going to feel like you're moving on, that whatever this is, it's becoming less important to you, that you've started to make peace with it, and you're making progress in this way. One thing that I do see with the Knight of Pentacles is that, yes, like I said, it is slow and steady, but it's not necessarily linear. Most of the progress that we make as humans, whether it's progress in our career, in our finances, in our emotional healing, it's generally not linear. We have really good days and then we have really bad days, or we have really good weeks and then we have bad weeks. And there's a lot of up and downs, especially I think when it comes to the emotional healing process. Some days we feel like we haven't gotten better at all, and then other times we feel like we're doing so well, and then something comes back and triggers some memory from the past. And I feel like whatever it is that you're dealing with, when you have the moon involved with this is involved with things that are deeply unconscious. So as you're going through this healing, trying to process what happened and getting over everything, there may be some very old wounds from the distant past that are sort of getting triggered again, or things that are resurfacing. And that's generally how the healing process goes. It can be quite uncomfortable. You're going up and down and forwards and backwards, but you are progressing. Another message from this card is that you do have a guardian angel with you. I do have another tarot deck. It's the Angel Tarot, and that's actually one of the phrases on the Knight of Pentacles, that you have a guardian angel. And so I just like to think of that and remember that whenever this card comes out, regardless of the deck, you do have divine support with you. You have support in the 3D with your friends and loved ones, and you also have divine support in the form of a guardian angel who is helping you with your healing. So you are not alone in this. You are never alone. If you're ever feeling emotionally down, you always have somebody to talk to. One last thing that I want to say with this card, because I see the shield and the pentacle on the shield. You may be getting quite busy at this time with your career and doing very well in your career. Maybe your finances are starting to build up, and that's wonderful. And especially if there's something that you're trying to move on from, keeping busy is very good because it prevents you from thinking about it all the time and going over everything in your head all the time, like all of the what ifs, I should have done this differently, and always just thinking about the situation. That's great. But there is a fine line and there is a balance to be maintained. Saying that you shouldn't be thinking about it all the time and you should take your mind off of it sometimes, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing your healing. So while I do think it is fine and even beneficial to keep busy, keep progressing with your endeavors, keep progressing with your career, your education, your friendships, to keep your mind busy and to keep it from falling back to whatever has hurt you all the time, I think the guidance here is just to make sure that you're not, constantly using these things as a way to forget about it altogether, forget about the healing that needs to be done altogether. And make sure that you're not purposely making yourself very busy to postpone or even to avoid completely the healing that needs to be done here. So moving on to the final card, the card that you have for the month of June is the Five of Cups. And at the beginning of this reading, I said that the themes I saw for this 6-month period were healing and new beginnings. And this was actually the card that made me think of new beginnings. I know it may not seem like that when you look at it. It actually just looks like you're still sad, but please bear with me because I will explain why it gave me this feeling. So we mentioned that, yes, you are making very steady progress. You're doing very well for yourself. You're surrounded by loved ones. Your financial situation is improving. What the energy of this part of the year feels like to me is that you know you're going in the right direction and you have a lot of good things going on in your life, but you just can't help sometimes but feel sad about what happened. I think it's completely normal and healthy, right? Like I said, the healing process, it can be very up and down, but there may be, in addition to that occasional sadness that creeps in, there might also be just a tad of guilt associated with that, because it's like, I have so many wonderful things going on in my life right now, and I wish that I could be fully present with them, and I wish that I could just enjoy them and be fully grateful for them. So in the month of June, I think I see you guys being good, maybe 80 or 90% of the time. For the most part, you're doing very well. But maybe, on certain days or, at night when you're alone or something like that, it could happen sometimes that the thoughts of the past creep back in a little bit and you can't help but feel a little bit sad. But look at the imagery on this card. The person on this card is crying over the spilled cups, which I think these cards here, this is representing your spilled cups. But literally right behind him are these two cups. And these two cups represent to me the new beginning. How I'm reading this is that in the month of June, while you guys are still trying to move forward and sometimes still feeling like you haven't moved on, a brand new opportunity is coming to you. A brand new relationship, a brand new love interest, a brand new opportunity. Whatever it was that you really wanted, now this is when it's coming to you. This perfect match. I think it's no coincidence that these are two cups behind the person, because this is a perfect match coming to you. This is a person or a situation that is going to completely mirror you and reciprocate to you. The energy that you give to them, they will give back to you. And that exchange of energy is going to feel so, so good. And it's going to manifest effortlessly. It's going to manifest so effortlessly. And I think the biggest lesson for you to learn here in the first month of 2021 is that when something is meant for you, you won't have to force it. Compare this here with the Two of Cups waiting just right behind you. All you have to do is turn around and there it is right in front of you, ready to bring you happiness, ready to reciprocate all the love that you give to it with even more love back to you. And compare that to this Eight of Wands, which was like you had to try, you had to, write it down and watch videos about it, and you had to watch readings and do rituals and wait and wonder and put yourself through quite a long and frustrating time of your life. If you compare these two, this is what is meant for you. This is what won't let you down. It will be there and show up for you and give you so much love. Forever. That's the word that came to my mind. So this is a forever blessing that is waiting for you. And it's so, so worth the wait. And it's so, so worth the work that you've put in these months here. And one last thing that I really love about this Five of Cups is that you can see this opportunity is coming to you while you're still in the process of healing. And I think in this community, we tend to say quite often, and we tend to hear quite often, that your perfect manifestation, your perfect relationship, your perfect opportunity will come to you when you've done all the inner work and when you've done all the healing. But look at this, it's coming to you when you're still a work in progress, when you're still hurt, when you're still in that process of healing yourself and doing the work that needs to be done. And this, to me, it's like a testament to the fact that you don't need to be perfect, or you don't need to be in the perfect place to attract what your heart desires and what is really meant for you. I think you just need to show the willingness. That's what I think. I think you just need to show the willingness to head in that direction. So it's about taking the journey. It's not that you need to be at the destination to get what you want. You just need to take really that first step and just be on that journey, be committed to one day eventually reaching that best version and that healed version of yourself. And I think really that's all the universe needs to see, just that willingness. So you certainly do not need to rush this healing journey, and you certainly don't need to think of this manifestation, whatever it might be for you, as some reward that is waiting for you at the end. It will join you, or they, if it's a person, they will join you on your journey of healing, and you guys will heal together. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. If you guys do want to see the reading for July to December, your second half of 2021, then please be sure to check out the video on Jupiter Sun's channel, which will be linked in the description. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you today. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hi number threes. So this reading is for those of you who are drawn to the sodalite. This is your month by month 2021 prediction for the months of January to June, so the first half of the year. And maybe you guys can already tell, but we have some really, really amazing cards laid out here. These are going to be representing January, February, March, April, May, and June. And themes that I would say for you guys for your first half of 2021 are victory and potential. This is a really, really exciting month, or exciting year. And of course, I don't know which reading you're going to choose in the second half if you guys do choose to watch that video. But if I'm judging just from the first 6 months of your year, I can pretty confidently say that 2021 is your year. This is going to be one of the best years that you've had in a long time in terms of excitement, in terms of inspiration, in terms of success and progress and fulfillment. And oh my gosh, I cannot rave enough about this 6-month period for you guys. I'm really, really excited to get into the individual cards. So the card that you have for the month of January is the Magician, which is amazing. This really shows you starting off 2021 on the right foot, really starting off on the high note. So I see you guys feeling very, very motivated to fulfill your New Year's resolutions. This has very much like a new year, new me kind of vibe to it. And everything that you've been planning in 2020, everything that you've been hoping to do, you're coming into this new year like full speed, fully motivated, and you're ready to make it happen. So right at the start of this year, right from January, you are starting a new chapter in your life. And I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but from January all the way to April, your months are marked by major arcana. So some serious and very, very positive changes are happening for you guys in the first 4 months of the year. There was something like this in pile 1 as well, where January marked the start of a new chapter. But in that reading, it was more like a divine intervention. The new beginning was like thrust upon them by a higher power. Whereas for you guys, pile 3s, I'm very much seeing this as, I was going to say confident, but that wasn't the word I was thinking of using, but it very much works. This is going to be a new chapter based on a confident and intentional choice that you guys make. Like, I'm ready to make this new chapter happen, and I'm going to start taking the steps. So you guys feel really ready in January to start making your dreams come true. The Magician is about manifestation. So whatever you guys are trying to manifest in 2021, it's gonna go, the word that just came to my mind is flawlessly. You guys are really, really tapping into your manifestation powers. I have a feeling that anything you want is really going to come to you with ease this year. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be starting your dream job, going to your dream school, starting a creative endeavor, so pursuing a creative art that you're really passionate about, or starting your own business. Like really big, really abundant changes are coming to you, and it really definitively marks a new chapter for you. And this infinity sign that is going around the Magician, it is really making me feel like for you guys, the possibilities are endless. So you may be stepping into this new journey with some unknowns, like you're not sure exactly how it's going to play out, but the unknowns don't scare you. They actually excite you because you see the unknowns as possibility for great things to happen. And you guys are really, really confident coming into this year. So you sort of have this feeling of whatever comes my way, I'll figure it out. I'll be able to handle it because I'm going into this with enthusiasm and I'm going into this with a lot of hope. And I really trust and believe in myself. So this is the mindset that you're going into the year with, almost like this untouchable, invincible, you're gonna move mountains, you're gonna make it happen. So 2021 could very, very well be the year that your biggest dream comes true. Okay, so moving on to February, you have the High Priestess, which is kind of cool because in tarot, the High Priestess does follow the Magician. So we talked a little bit about this idea of some unknowns being present along your new path, but it's not really concerning you. And in February, this is when I think some of the unknowns are going to come up. I wouldn't categorize these as challenges, but just little things popping up on your journey that you hadn't really considered, like things that you needed to be thinking about, but you didn't think about them. So if I can give an example, let's say this new journey that you're on is being a singer. So you're going to start promoting and putting your music out there. And then you realize like, I never thought about if I should be joining a label or if I should just be doing this on my own. Or I didn't think about what my budget should be for every project. I didn't think about writing a bio, how I'm going to define my subgenre that I'm doing. And I didn't think about if I should keep my old social media or start a new one. It's like the little details like that that maybe you were just so excited about getting started that perhaps you didn't take too much time to think about those little practical details along the way. So nothing major, nothing that is going to set you back, but just a little bit of, oh, I need to make a decision on that, don't I? But what I see with the High Priestess is that you're going to feel even really confident about your judgment to make these decisions, because the High Priestess shows that your intuition is very, very strong. So even if you don't know exactly why you want to make that decision, you will just feel that it's right. So this is guidance for you in the month of February. When these kind of things come up, when you have to make a decision, even if it's very important, the message for you is actually don't spend too much time, for example, researching about it. Don't spend too much time thinking and turning it over in your head. And definitely don't ask other people. That's actually the biggest one. I think asking for other people's advice might just deter you from your intuition, because you already have the answer within you. You already know what is best for you. So I think the best decision is the one that comes to you the most quickly and the most naturally. These are not solutions that you're going to find by doing a ton of research and doing a ton of reflection. And actually, I think that's going to, like I said, dilute your intuition and that inner clarity that you already have so strongly. So trusting yourself is proving to be a very, very important theme so far throughout this journey. One more thing that I want you guys to be careful with this High Priestess energy. If this new chapter for you is something, actually, it doesn't even have to be with self-employment. If it's anything regarding something that makes you money, anything that you are to be compensated for, make sure that you aren't selling yourself too short. When I see the High Priestess, she makes me think of a person who is really standing in their power and really knows their worth and thinks very highly of themselves. The High Priestess to me just commands respect, and she has this quiet confidence about her. And I know you really, really want to make this work, but you do not need to take offers or accept anything that you feel is below you. Like if you feel the offer is below what you deserve, you don't need to take it. So reflect on that, what your value is, because I feel like it's probably higher than you think. If you are offering some sort of service, if you are selling your creations, I think you could probably charge a little bit more than what you're thinking right now. And that will come naturally, I think, as you start to feel more confident in yourself and what you're putting out there. I think you will start to see the true value, but that's just something to look out for. Some of you guys may tend to sell yourself short or underestimate your talents and underestimate the value that your services or that your creations give to people. So that's just one thing to look out for. Oh, and also one more thing, sorry. One last thing with the High Priestess. She is kind of secretive, and remember, she has the quiet confidence. So while you may be very, very excited about this new chapter, I would say, at least in the beginning, not to, run around telling everybody about it. Sort of keep your business to yourself or to very trusted loved ones in your life. You're in such a positive energy coming into this year. You have such a high vibration. And the more people you tell, the more people's energy you're involving. And we don't want to be inviting in these lower vibe energies. So I would say to just tell people who you know are very positive people and really want the best for you. And also, with all the great things you're doing, you could be inviting in jealousy too, which we don't want. So be confident in yourself, but keep it quiet. Like, rest assured, rest assured that you know what you're doing and you're doing a great job. And yeah, keep what you're doing for the most part to a small number of people, I think. Okay, so now we're moving into the lovers, and the timer on my camera went to 11:11 just as I brought the lovers up here, which is very, very interesting. That just gave me a whole other interpretation to what I was originally going to say, so I'll have to address everything. But the lovers, again, I think is an interesting transition, because here we saw you having to make decisions, figure some things out, and that is exactly what the lovers card is about. And judging the positive energy that you're in, I think this is showing you making all the right decisions. So whatever decisions you've made in February, you'll see in March, yes, that was the right one, that paid off, which is great because this is only a month period. So just in case you had any little bit of doubt that you made the wrong choice, you won't be in that uncertain what if energy for long, because by the time March comes around, you will know for sure with some concrete evidence that has manifested in the 3D, like, whew, I really dodged a bullet, or I really made the right move there. And that's just going to help to reinforce your own trust in your intuition. I think your guides and your higher self really, really want you to know that your intuition is bang on. Whenever the High Priestess appears in a reading, I know that the person I'm reading for is incredibly psychic, and often more so than they give themselves credit for. Yes. And another message I got from the lovers is that you might find your solution or find confirmation that you did the right thing through what other people are saying or doing. So like going back to the singer example, let's say one of the things that you need to make a decision about is, do I keep building off of my current social media, or should I just, shut that down or make that private and create a totally new one? And you're maybe struggling to make this decision, or you just made the decision and you're not sure it's right. And then a few days later, you see some article online about how a celebrity's old social media was dug up and it caused some scandal because somebody found something and blah, 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 something like that. And then you realize, oh, okay, so I should probably just make a new one, and maybe I should delete some old stuff. Or, sorry, I'm like painting you as if like you've done some problematic stuff in the past, but this is just an example, okay? Because you see what happened to the other person, that's how you get your answer, that's what you should do. Or if you already did that, if you already made the decision to start your new social media, but you're feeling a little bit iffy about it because, you did already have a follower count there and you kind of wanted to build on it, but then you see this happen and you're like, oh, okay, no, forget it. I know I made the right choice, so I can put that to rest now. So in March, it's just proving to you, your intuition is right, you're making all the right decisions, and this positive energy is just continuing throughout the year. So the other meaning that I thought when 11:11 showed up, because of course this card is called the Lovers, and 11:11, we often associate this with divine counterparts, whether that's a soulmate, a twin flame, whatever label you resonate with. You guys in March may be meeting someone with whom you resonate very, very strongly and to whom you feel a romantic attraction. Now, even if you're watching this reading right now and you have a person of interest, I do see you meeting somebody else who makes you feel equally as strong. And what I'm thinking of is that this new person who's coming in March, it's going to be somebody who is doing something very similar to you. Whatever this new chapter is that you're starting in your life, they're doing something quite similar. So they might be in your class, they might be in your department at work, they may be in the same creative field as you, and it's probably, meeting this person is probably a result of you starting this new path. So they're going to have a lot in common with you in terms of their past experience and their creative vision and the way they see the world. You know, their day-to-day lifestyle too is going to be quite similar. You guys might have the same struggles, so you can lean on each other and consult with each other and things like that. And that's definitely one thing I think that draws them to you a lot, because there's that familiarity, and, you know, being with each other, it inspires you and motivates you to keep going. And then on the other hand, maybe your current person of interest, it's like you don't have as much in common, but your heart just still wants what it wants. There's just something that's pulling your heart to them. So it's two, they're not like one is better than the other, but they're just very different. And this new person coming in March, it's like, it's fresh, it's exciting. And so in that sense, there might be a little bit of confusion. Like if you want to keep trying to make things work with your current person of interest, or if you want to pursue things further with this new person. And actually, now that I think about it, this can even happen for those of you who are in a relationship. This can even be the case for those of you who are in a relationship, that you meet somebody new who makes you feel very strongly, and that can lead to some confusion. However, I don't think this is going to be the case for everybody who's taken. If you are in a happy, committed relationship, you can obviously throw that message away if that is not resonating. And this relationship-related decision, it can be about something platonic as well. So around this month of March, there may be a certain friendship that you start to put in question and wonder if, you know, this friendship is really mutually beneficial anymore, if this person still has a place in your life and has a place in your future. These could be the sort of thoughts that are coming up for you, but it looks like there's some sort of relationship that is being put into question. Okay. Oh, sorry. One last thing. The new person that you meet in March, you will have weird psychic experiences about them, like seeing a ton of synchronicities, having a bunch of dreams about them, really, you know, knowing what they're doing at some given moment. You think about a bluebird, and then they post a picture of a bluebird 5 minutes later. Like weird things like that will start happening. So it's an intense psychic and spiritual connection. That was the last thing I wanted to say about that. Okay, so let's get into judgment. This is your fourth and final major arcana out of this reading. And again, we see a problem emerge, and we see a very quick solution. So this is happening in March, and you're already getting your answer in April. This card, Judgment, it does have a meaning of the truth coming out. So in the same way that we saw you getting the answer about what you should do regarding your career by observing somebody else's behavior, like that social media example that I gave, it's a similar thing that's going to give you your answer to this relationship question or friendship question, because you don't necessarily need to decide what you're going to do. The people or person involved will show you. So people's true colors are getting exposed in the month of April, and that's going to make it very easy for you to make this decision. So this new person that you meet in March might show you their true colors, which makes you realize, okay, never mind, this is not the person for me. Or they may show your true colors and you say, oh my gosh, I can't deny this anymore. It's definitely you. It could be the same like for your current person of interest. They prove that they're not really right for you, which makes you 100% sure about the new March person. It could really happen anyway, regardless of who this is or what they're showing you. It's going to make it very, very obvious to you. It's like they're getting exposed and you realize, okay, I should keep you in my life, or I should distance myself from you. And this card is also about awakening, ascension, leveling up. So we've seen you throughout this year in a very, very high vibration. And with this, it looks like in the month of April, you will be going through a significant leveling up in this new chapter, this new endeavor that you've started, which is amazing because this is literally 4 months and you're already experiencing a leveling up. And so in the month of April, it may become very clear to you, like whose vibe matches with your new higher vibe and whose just doesn't. It will be very obvious, very clear, like, okay, this person has a place in my new life. this person maybe not so much. And it will just happen very naturally. So this confusion is not going to last very long. And this figure at the top, I'm actually thinking of this as your higher self. Like, this is me, I'm in my highest manifestation. And if you can rise up to me, then you can rise up to me and we can be up here together. And those who aren't up for that, who don't want to step up, then they can stay on the ground. It's like, I'm ascending, who's coming with me? It's like this kind of energy. So the truth about people involved in your life will become very clear in this month. And I'm also thinking that this Judgment card could be something of a moment of truth for something that you've been working on. Like if you are planning some launch, planning a presentation, planning a premiere of one of your creative works, this is like the moment of judgment, meaning you're about to share it with the public and you're about to open yourself up to both positive and negative judgments. And so you could be releasing or presenting something really important in the month of April, but we do see you leveling up. So I do think the response is going to be positive, but that could bring, you know, some feeling of nerves and, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's like you're exposing yourself as well. It could be, you know, a project that's been really close to your heart, that's just especially vulnerable, or you put a lot of work into it. And so the criticisms or the judgments of people could just matter, like, especially a lot to you for this project. Yes, okay. So the next card that we have here is the Knight of Wands. So we're getting into the minor arcana now. I think that in the first 4 months is where we really saw the major changes and the significant developments. And in May and June, you are kind of coasting. I think that's the right word. Coasting in a very, very good way. And I don't know if I have much to say about this Knight of Wands, except you're still progressing, your spirits are still high, and everything is going very smoothly. The Knight of Wands shows an endeavor or a conquest, if you will, playing out in your favor with minimal challenges or stressful situations. Or I should say that any challenges that do come your way, you are more than equipped to handle them. And it's funny, you are holding a wand here, because I am seeing this as you, and you're also holding a wand in the Magician. So I'm kind of feeling like, you know, you still got it. Whatever mojo you were feeling in the beginning of January, you still have it, which is amazing because, as we know, I feel like 99% of people who set out to make something happen in the new year, they're super, super motivated in the beginning of January because they're like, I have the whole year, like the world is my oyster. And then by January 10th, it's like they've already fallen off the wagon. They've already given up. At least that's my experience, but I think most people fall off that New Year resolution, New Year, new me wagon pretty early on. So you've made it to the month of May and you're still there. The only difference now is that, well, you have horse and you're wearing armor. That's what's really sticking out to me, this wearing armor. So this can mean two things to me. The first one is like concealing yourself, because here, sorry, my camera just died, but I was saying that there were two things that this armor makes me think about on the Knight of Wands, and one of them is this idea of being concealed. And I think this sort of matches with something we talked about in the High Priestess section of the reading, where you are sort of keeping your future plans private. And as you start to work your way up and climb this ladder, that might become something that comes of utmost importance. So I will just say it again, even though I don't want to repeat myself too much. Be very, very careful about who you share your future plans with. And then the other thing the armor makes me think of is developing a thick skin. So in the previous card, we had judgment here. We saw that a meaning of this was sort of exposing yourself to the world, exposing yourself to people's opinions. And as positive as the response will be for you, there's always those people with their negative comments that stick out. And if we have a thin skin, we can sort of hyperfixate on the one person who said something negative. And even if it's the same person, like for example, Let's say at work, you've always done a really great job and your boss has had nothing but good things to say about you. There may be one time, just one time, where your boss invites you into their office and they have to talk to you about something that they were a little bit disappointed that you fell short, or you did something wrong, or they just want you to work a bit harder. And even though your performance is amazing most of the time and your boss still has a wonderful opinion of you, that one exchange that you have that maybe wasn't even negative, but just some constructive criticism that you got, if you have thin skin, you will probably remember that more than all of the amazing and encouraging things that your boss has said to you. So it could be something like that. It could be, if you're putting creations out there, it could be one, sort of hate comment that stands out to you. And over time, you'll need to develop a thick skin so that these comments don't get to you. It's one thing to receive constructive criticism, but there are some people out there who just say things just to be mean or just to sort of pick on you and knock you down. So just be aware of that. And I think we can view this horse that you're riding on as your supporters, as all of the support that you have. So for everybody who has something bad to say, you have so many more people who love and support you, who love what you're doing and will encourage you no matter what. And they are carrying you through so that any negativity just rolls off your back. Okay, so we're getting into the final card now, and we have the 10 of Cups here. What a wonderful card to finish off with. So I'm actually going to take this card quite literally and look at the image that we see on it. We see a happy couple with a baby. Okay, maybe not entirely literally, because probably most people watching this video will not all have a baby in June 2021. That would be pretty amazing. But two people who are romantically involved, coming together in a happy, committed union and giving birth to something. Whether that is a child, whether that is an idea, a work of art, a business venture, it doesn't really matter. So I spoke too soon. I'm not going to read it 100% literally, but in the month of June, I see you entering into a romantic relationship or going to the next level with someone that you're currently involved with. I am not sure if it's going to be somebody that you currently know or if it's going to be this new person that you're meeting, and probably that's going to be different for everybody who's watching this video. But what I can say is that your love life will be going through a leveling up as well, and it is going to be a very loving and very, very peaceful relationship. As a lover, as a romantic partner, this person is going to be everything you could have ever asked for and more, and you are creating something together. So if it is this person, the person who comes in around March, this will probably be the two of you collaborating on something. So maybe you are making a song together, or making a video together, or you're going on a business venture together, or you're making a presentation together. Maybe you're inventing or designing a product together. I'm just trying to think of many different examples because, of course, it's general and it will depend on what your common interest and what your field of work is. But you're coming together, you're in a romantic relationship, and you make something together. And you see the way they're looking so fondly and so lovingly at this thing. It's like you love what you do anyway. You love what you create anyway. But there's something that is so special about this particular project, this particular creation, because you made it with the person that you love. And so you see a little bit of yourself and a little bit of your partner in it. And it's just a testament to what beauty you can create when the two of you come together. So June is definitely going to be very happy and peaceful and blissful, and maybe the happiest you've ever been in this whole 6-month period. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. If you do want to see what the second half of your year looks like, please be sure to check out Jupiter Sun's video on her channel. The link for that will be in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so this reading is for those of you who are drawn to the fluorite. This is your month by month prediction for the first half of 2021, so January to June. As you can see, we have 6 cards laid out here, and these are going to represent January, February, March, April, May, and June. So I think if I look at these cards, the theme for the first half of your 2021 is progress and fulfillment. So this is a very nice and comfortable first half of the year, it looks like. Nothing too crazy is happening, but things are going in the right direction, and I do think you're going to be very, very happy during this time. So let's get into the individual cards. The first one that we have here is the Two of Swords. So this is representing your month of January. So it looks like you guys are coming into the year struggling to make a decision. And what I'm picking up for this card is that this is probably already happening right now. There's already a decision that you have been struggling to make for quite some time. And I think that this is popping up in January because it's almost as if your higher self is saying, look, it's literally already 2021 and you're still struggling on this decision. And it's a little bit of a push from your higher self to go ahead and just make the decision already. Because what I'm picking up for you guys is that deep down, you really know the answer. You really know what it is that you want to do, but maybe you are just scared, and your ego has been very good at trying to talk you out of making this decision. You know you really want to go this way, but your ego is really convincing you to go that way, almost to kind of keep you in this state of indecision and to stall you from making the decision. And I see the blindfold on this person. Sometimes I interpret the blindfold as like you need more information to make the decision, but actually the way I'm seeing it for this particular reading is your higher self telling you like you don't need your eyes to see the situation because you have your third eye. You don't need any more information. You don't need to analyze anything more. You already know the answer. So this is actually your higher self wanting you to close your 2 physical eyes and look at this situation with your third eye, because your third eye knows the truth. Some of you guys may be stalling this decision making by looking too much in the 3D circumstances, over analyzing every little small action taken by somebody or every tiny little development or lack thereof, and like keeping a tally or pros and cons, and it kind of feels like over analyzing small details, like to the point where you're just confusing yourself. And at the end of the day, with all of that aside, you know the answer. And I see this reflected in the crescent moon at the back of the card, which, as some of you guys may know, I very often, if not always, interpret this crescent moon shape as your intuition, as your psychic ability. So this tells me you really, really do know the truth of the situation. And in January, your higher self is saying, just go for it already. Just go with the decision that you know is right. Now, of course, this decision is going to be different for everybody, as this is a general reading. But the feeling that I'm getting for most of you is, rather than, an A or B, a this way or that way, it's more like, should I move forward with this thing or should I forget about it? Should I go for it or not? It feels more like that for most people. So probably you already know that deep down you want to go for it, or you already know that this path isn't good for you and you're just kind of stalling, because once you make that decision, it's final, and that can be scary, especially when it's something you really care about. So anyway, I think you get the point what I'm trying to say. In January, your higher self really, really wants you to just make this decision. And I feel like they probably wanted you to do it in 2020. And it's like, is this really carrying over? Are we still doing this? Are we still turning this over in our head? So just kind of get it over with, I guess, is a blunt way to say it. Get this decision over with. You already know. And my camera timer just hit 444 when I said that, which means you are safe, you are protected. Any repeating fours means that angels are working behind the scenes to keep you safe and bring stability and security into your life. So please don't fear that taking the path you really want to take is going to bring any sort of instability or any sort of danger to your life. You are very, very protected. And if you take this first step, your angels will catch you and they will guide you. Okay, so now we're moving on to February. Oops. And the card that we have here is the Ace of Wands. And this tells me that you are feeling very, very good in February. So you definitely made the right decision in January. The Ace of Wands shows a time of renewed happiness, renewed inspiration, and a personal meaning that I've seen with the Ace of Wands is a connection to your higher self, developing a stronger and more positive relationship with your higher self so that they can take a more active role in your life. Whereas here, I very much feel like you guys may have been ignoring, you guys may have been ignoring your higher self or just not recognizing your higher self. Once you are honest with yourself about what you really want, you trust that your angels are protecting you, and you go for it, that opens up the channel of communication between you and your higher self. It's almost as if making this decision has allowed them in and allowed them to take the role that both of you have really wanted your higher self to take in your life. And as a result of your higher self being more present with you, you guys are going to feel so much more energy in the month of February. Like I'm hearing, literally you will have more physical energy. So you won't get tired throughout the day. You'll sleep really well. You're going to be like, you won't have any brain fog, mental clarity. That's the word. You guys will have a lot of mental clarity. You'll be very creatively inspired as well. So for any of you guys who are artists, this will be a great month for you guys to create. But creativity doesn't necessarily have to be art. This can be you coming up with original and very smart solutions at your work or to any of your problems. That can certainly also be creativity. And I'm also seeing for you guys in February a significantly elevated mood. So if you guys are already happy people, you're going to be even happier. If you guys have been feeling low, uninspired, or maybe even feeling some depression these days, in the month of February, you're going to feel really good. That cloud that's been hanging over you is going to clear. And above all else, I think you guys are going to feel really, really free because that stress of indecision is not going to be weighing on you anymore. You did what you needed to do, you made the call, and you have no regrets. And more than anything, I think you guys are just going to feel so relieved that this is not something that is eating at you anymore. This is not something that you're going to be thinking about constantly anymore. It's almost like ripping off a band-aid. This is how you're going to feel. And look how beautiful this is. It's like flowers blooming in your life again. You're coming back to life. So you're going to be in really, really high spirits in the month of February. So it kind of seems like your exciting new beginning is happening in February, not in January, even though that is technically the start of the year. I think this is more going to feel like a new chapter has begun. February is going to feel more like the beginning to you guys than January. Okay, so let's go to your third card now, which is representing the month of March, and we have the Two of Cups here, and I am definitely getting love and romance vibes from this Two of Cups. So if you guys don't have a person of interest yet, this can be indicating you meeting a person of interest. If you already have one, this can indicate you guys getting together. And if you are already with your person in a relationship, this can indicate you guys either moving on to the next level of commitment or just having a really, really good month in your relationship where the communication between you is really good, where you're feeling extra affectionate with each other and extra appreciative of each other. Basically, this is going to be a very, very good month for love. Now, for those of you who are meeting someone new, or actually, even if you already have somebody, I'm just seeing that you and this person might be quite different because you're coming through as a white cup and a black cup. And I think this is very much an opposites attract situation. This is a yin and yang situation where you appear different, but your souls are very similar. And there's something about each other that just draws you to each other in a sort of intense way. But in a positive intensity. It's not an intensity that brings any feelings of stress or discomfort, but rather like you're overwhelmed with love and you're overwhelmed with joy. your differences complement each other and you work really, really well together. So this is going to be a very happy connection. And this is also about reciprocity, the more broader meaning of the Two of Cups, because in the traditional artwork, we see two people coming forward and they're each offering each other their cup. So what you're giving is also what you're getting from the other side. And yes, this is going to be true for your relationship in the month of March. This is going to be a relationship with reciprocated effort and reciprocated feelings. But I think this can also speak about the flow that you're in and the state of being that you're in come March 2021. So you're really finding in this month that what you give to life is what you get out of life. The effort that you put in is equivalent to the rewards that you receive back. And that's going to feel especially good for those of you maybe throughout this year who have been feeling like, you know, you're trying and trying and you're putting so much effort into everything that you do and it just seems like you can't catch a break, you can't get anything back. That is going to remedy itself by March 2021. So you're really feeling like, you know, putting in this effort to improve your life and to reach your goals is really worth it because you see the payback and you see the universe responding. You see people responding to you when you give your energy to them. And I just think that's going to feel, it's going to feel so, so good for you guys. So March is a very happy month for love, relationships, and life in general. I'm really happy to see that. So the next card that we have here is the King of Swords. And because we just had the previous card with the Two of Cups about you being in a relationship with somebody, I'm thinking that this King of Swords can represent the person. So the partner with whom you're going to enter into the relationship. So maybe the month of April, in the month of April, sorry, this relationship is your main focus. The most significant thing after 2021 is over and you look back on the months, April will be like, oh yes, this was the month that I spent a lot of time with so-and-so. This is the month that our relationship really grew and blossomed and we really got to know each other's hearts. That's sort of going to be the theme of that month or the thing that stands out to you the most. And your person, they can be of any sign, they can be of any age. However, if any of you guys out there are currently interested in an older air sign, then please just take this as a double confirmation because that is definitely your person. And now that I think about it, going back to this white and black cup, this yin and yang, it's very much making me think of, you know, a two sides of the same coin situation. You guys could very well be sister signs, meaning like Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio. And actually, I want to triple confirm. If you got that double confirmation from the air sign, take this as a triple confirmation if you are a fire sign. If you're a fire sign and your person is an air sign, take that as a triple confirmation that you are definitely a match. This is definitely your person. But let's get a little bit into the personality of the King of Swords. This is definitely somebody who is governed by their mind, by their logic and rational decision making, rather than being guided by their heart. And in the beginning of a relationship, this person could come across as a little bit detached, maybe even a little bit cold. And it's because, I think it's because they're guarded. I think of the King of Swords as somebody who has been through a lot to become this king. And he holds the sword because he is still guarded. He still needs to protect himself. And so he wears this hard outer shell because I think the King of Swords really does have a very soft and vulnerable heart. And maybe that's why he's holding the sword, you know, over or across his chest, because this person is afraid of opening up, being vulnerable, and being hurt. So this might be something that you guys are talking through in the month of April, slowly building trust in each other and opening up to reveal that soft heart that lies inside. But some other things about their personality is that they are very fair and very reasonable. So it's very unlikely for you guys to get into any sort of arguments, or it's very unlikely for them to be unreasonable or irrational, very unlikely for them to lose their temper. They can generally talk things through in a mature and intelligent and peaceful manner. And the King of Swords are also excellent problem solvers. So any little problem that you have in your life, or any big problem that you have in your life, this is going to be like your best friend that you can talk to about these issues, and they can help you to break everything down and consider the different possibilities and find the solution that is not only best for you but best for everybody involved. What I really like about the King of Swords is that they genuinely care about everybody. They have that sort of diplomatic energy in the same way that Libra does, and really care for their community in the same way that an Aquarius might do so. And they can look at a situation from many different angles like a Gemini. So it's kind of like the King of Swords has all of the good traits of the air signs. So they're very, very good problem solvers, very good at analyzing situations without, over analyzing and getting too in their feelings about things. So this is going to be someone who you can really, really rely on when things get tough or you just need a little bit of guidance. And at the same time, what you can do for them is to help them open up, help them overcome their issues of being hurt, their issues with vulnerability, and help them develop their emotional intelligence a little bit more rather than just rational and logical intelligence, because it's really, really important to have both. And maybe that's how you guys balance each other out. One of you is more in the head and one of you is more in the heart. So your differences as you come together, it's really, really beneficial for both of you. It's reciprocal, like we mentioned before with the Two of Cups. One last thing, I also want to address the little crow on the King of Swords shoulder. There's a few things that are coming to my mind with this crow. One is that this person will be very protective of you. I just personally associate crows with protection. When I see one, I feel like they're protecting me. I know some people are scared of them, but that's just the message that I so clearly get from crows. Another thing is that you could be meeting this person on social media, or when you first start getting to know each other, a lot of your communication is primarily on social media. So like through DMs or commenting on each other's stuff, watching each other's stories, and this kind of thing. You could also even be calling or FaceTiming quite a bit in the beginning of your relationship. And then the final message that I got from the crow was just that a crow or a raven or any sort of black bird, it might be a sign for you before you meet this person. And that would be really cool if you've already been seeing this type of bird as a sign. But if you ever see one around, this is from their higher self. Just saying hi, just letting you know that they're there and they're watching over you and that they love you. Okay, so we are moving on now to the Hierophant. So there's just one message that I have with this with regards to the relationship, because the Hierophant is a card about commitment. So for those of you who are resonating with this being, meeting a new person, then the Hierophant can show when you reach the stage of commitment. So meeting in March, talking and getting to know each other a lot in April, helping each other through your respective difficulties, and then coming into a committed relationship in May. And I just realized it's funny that you have the Hierophant for May, because it is the Taurus card, it is the number 5 card, and both of those are associated with the month of May. So that's kind of cool. The other message that I have, which is completely about something else, is that education and learning is going to be the main theme for you guys in the month of May. So for those of you who are students, May might be a pretty busy month for you guys in your studies. Maybe you have a lot of assignments to hand in, or maybe you have exams, something really important coming up. Some of you guys may be planning and starting to work on an important application for your studies. This can also be, even if you're not a student who is enrolled in a school, this could just be you becoming very interested in a certain topic and really starting to learn everything you can about it. For some of you guys, this may even be about your spiritual journey, because the Hierophant does have quite a spiritual energy to it as well. You start to learn more about a specific spiritual topic. Maybe you guys are starting to learn tarot, or you're starting to learn about astrology. You're reading up on a subject, doing research on a subject. And then I'm also getting a message, I think this will just be for some of you, but in the month of May, you might start to go to therapy or start to see some sort of counselor. I'm just thinking of that maybe because the Hierophant can be something of a mentor. So I think anything, someone who is imparting wisdom or advice or helping you through something, it can sort of fall under this category of teacher, of mentor. So yes, some people might be going to therapy or seeking some sort of counseling. So finally, we are going to the month of June, and the card that we have here is the Seven of Pentacles. And I think that, to put it quite simply, the month of June is going to be just slow. Not much is happening. It seems like a kind of uneventful month. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just the natural cycles of our life. We have some months that are really busy, and then we have some months that are really slow. This doesn't mean that things are going to continue being slow. Things will probably pick up again. So it's just a natural cycle, and I think the guidance for you is to just relax and enjoy the stillness. During this month of June, I'm getting that some of you guys may be waiting for some important news, like waiting for some kind of communication, waiting for some results, waiting for progress on something that you're working on, but it's not really coming. And the advice for you is to not watch it. You see this person here, he's done some work on his plant, and now he's just standing there and watching it. And I often think of this card as, watching a pot and waiting for it to boil. If you just stand there and keep watching it, it's going to feel like forever. So step away from it, go and do something else, go take a nap, go have fun with your friends, spend some time with your partner, and trust that this is going to be okay. Maybe you guys are closely monitoring it because you're worried. Like, for example, if you're waiting to hear back the results about something that you submitted, something that you applied for, maybe it's like you're checking and refreshing your email several times a day because you're just so anxious to hear the result. And it feels like it's taking forever because you just keep checking and you're not allowing yourself to be distracted. But if you just drop it, trust that you did everything you could and your seeds were well planted, because that is a meaning of this card. You planted these seeds well, and that plant is going to grow. There's no need to be checking up on it so much. So you have the permission to walk away from your plant for now and just enjoy the month. And give it time and know that when you come back, the plant will have grown beautifully. So this pause that we're seeing in the month of June is really, really nothing to worry about. And I'm really feeling for you that this month has been given to you to just relax and enjoy yourself and forget about your responsibilities for a while. So maybe something's going to pick up for you guys in the second half of the year, and this is your chance to sort of take a breather. But in any case, this stillness and this waiting period, it is very much just temporary. So try to keep yourself distracted with other things and not think about it too much. Everything's going to be absolutely fine. Sorry guys, my camera just died right as I was about to do my outro. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this reading, and if you do want to see what the second half of your 2021 looks like, then please be sure to check out Jupiter Sun's video. I will put the link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!